Hey y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to Heart with Latrice Sampson Richards. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards, and I'm super excited to be here with y'all today to have real talk about what it takes to exist in healthy relationships. Today's topic is co-parenting after a breakup. Co-parenting after a breakup can be excruciating, especially if you have a particularly strained relationship with your ex. All of the changes that come along with ending a relationship can have a negative effect on the children that you share together. So today, I'm giving you 4 principles on how to have healthy co-parenting relationships after a breakup. I'm not listing these in any particular order in terms of importance. Just know that these are all equally important, and you should definitely consider your role in each one. Your first tip for healthy co-parenting after a breakup is to heal yourself. So breakups can come with a lot of emotional baggage. There's a lot of negative feelings that come along with a split. There's hurt, there's shame, there's embarrassment. Sometimes there's anger, frustration, resentment. All of these emotions have the potential to block you from being able to really participate in a healthy co-parenting relationship with your ex. You have to make sure that before you really embark on the co-parenting, that you give yourself time to heal these emotions. Now, for some of us, we don't have as much time as we do in other situations, or as others of us do, right? And so you want to make sure that you really handle those emotional hiccups with care, okay? These things are real. Your feelings are valid. And the only way for you to really be able to show up for your kid is to show up for yourself first. You cannot allow those negative feelings to really come into play when you're trying to interact and co-parent. So you got to take the time that you need to heal, whether that's going to a professional and talking it out, or working through it in your journal, or doing a vlog or something like that. Whatever it takes for you to be able to heal yourself, you need to do that, because it is virtually impossible for us to think logically when we're in such a chaotic emotional state. So healing yourself is an act of love towards your children, because it clears away some of the darkness and allows you to be able to think clearly and in the best interest of your child. That being said, the second tip is to get over yourself. You have to keep in mind that the child comes first. No matter what, the child comes first. So when I say get over yourself, I'm not saying, bitch, move on, girl, get over yourself. But what I am saying is that you have to separate your relationship with the ex from your child's relationship with the ex. Those two are not mutually exclusive. It is possible that somebody can be a horrible partner for you in a relationship and still be an awesome and amazing parent. You have to be able to get over your feelings and move past your own selfish needs or desires to not see that person, not interact with that person, or just to make that person pay for all of the pain that they caused you. Hello, somebody. And allow your child to develop their own relationship with him or her. This is vitally important, because if your children are young, they may not fully understand what's going on, but I guarantee you, as they grow up and they get more mature and they start to really understand relationship dynamics, you don't want to be on the receiving end of the frustration and anger that comes along with the realization that your parent kept you from seeing or having a relationship with the parent that you love. The third tip for healthy co-parenting after a breakup is to prioritize communication. And the general rule of thumb here is communicate everything. Assume nothing. When there are mixed emotions, a lot of negative mixed emotions that are at play, it's really easy for your emotional state to cloud your understanding of a situation. So you want to make sure that any communication you have with your ex about your children is very clear, direct, and to the point. You want to communicate everything. If there's a situation at school and you've issued a punishment, you want to make sure that you communicate that to the parent so that they can reinforce that during their time with the child. I mean, you can even go so far as to communicate about what that punishment or discipline strategy is going to be. You want to communicate about holidays, you want to communicate about birthdays, you want to communicate about allowance. There's nothing that's off the table when it comes to your children in terms of communication. Another thing that's important, I think, for us to make sure that we communicate is when you're going to be introducing someone new into your life and therefore the lives of the children. I'm not saying that they need to have say-so in who you introduce to the kids, but they do have the right to know that someone new is coming into the fold, okay? This cuts down on a lot of bitterness that could possibly come as a result of them finding out this information secondhand, and it reduces the likelihood that you're going to put your child in the middle of a spat that really has nothing to do with them. So make sure that you are communicating about any and everything that impacts your child's life. Now, this requires a certain level of civility to exist between yourself and your former partner. Now, unfortunately, some of us just don't have that as an option. We didn't choose very wisely with the people that we decided to have kids with. And so if this is the case for you, then you need to find some type of system or some type of method that allows for mediation in your communication. For some people, it's the court system. For others, it's working through another family member that you can speak civilly with to make sure that that ex gets all of the information that they need and vice versa. The bottom line is to figure it out because communication has to happen in order for co-parenting to be successful. Which brings us to the fourth and final tip for today, which is to model respect at all times. Now, effective communication is really built on a foundation of respect, and that respect comes in 4 different levels. You have to respect each other as a parent first. Now, you may not be able to respect your ex depending on the circumstances of the breakup as an individual or as a person, but you must always respect them as the parent of your child. Nothing you say, nothing you do, nothing that transpired within that relationship takes away their right as a parent. And so you have to make sure that you maintain a level of respect for them as the parent of your child. The second level is to respect the parenting process itself. Parenting is a serious job, and you have a responsibility to your child and or children to get it right. And so having respect for the process of parenting means that you prioritize the needs of your child, you communicate effectively, and you do everything that needs to be done in order to ensure a healthy, happy child turns into a well-rounded and respectable adult. The third level of respect is to respect your child as an individual. Honor their life's purpose by creating an environment for them to be able to thrive mentally, emotionally, and physically, and of their own accord. Children are a lot more resilient than what we give them credit for, and you cannot shield them from the pains and darkness that exist in the world. If the other parent is not showing up for them the way that they need to, your job is not to shield them from that, but to prepare them to be able to manage and process those emotions. Respect who they are and give them the skills that they need in order to thrive no matter what life brings their way. And finally, respect yourself enough to not allow someone else to control your emotions and cause you to make decisions that you're going to regret later in life. Respect yourself enough to create an environment of peace and serenity so that you can not only be the parent that your child needs you to be, but the parent that you know you want to be. Those are your 4 tips on how to have a healthy co-parenting relationship after a breakup. If you need any help with making this happen, if you're in a co-parenting situation and you're not sure how to make it happen, I would love to be able to help you out with that. You can hit the little link below to sign up for a heart-to-heart session, and I'd be glad to work with you, okay? That's all I got for y'all today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. And until next time, be well. Bye, y'all.